All right, just whenever. All right. Welcome back to the Week 7 NFL live stream brought to you by Hit the Books, where we're going to take a look at our top 5 NFL games of the week, plus an additional segment at the end to discuss each of our locks of the week. Let's get right into it. Our first matchup on the list for this week is the Atlanta Falcons visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers coming into this matchup, a divisional matchup, as a 2.5-point favorite. I'm seeing minus 120 for the minus 2.5 for the Bucs. The over-under is 37.5, a pretty low total. A lot of low totals this week. This is one of the lower ones at 37.5. The Bucs money line coming in this one is minus 155 as well, with the Falcons plus 130. I'll get us started here in this divisional matchup. The Bucs have not been able to run the ball very well. I do look to Rachaad White to have a decent game here and allow the Bucs to be able to move the ball on the ground. I like the Bucs with the points here. I think they can get the job done by the field goal at home. I think Baker has the boys. They need this win, a big divisional matchup. The Falcons kind of are what they are, a younger, inexperienced team. I think this is a game that the Bucs defense clutches up and gets a win.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mackie. We were talking about this on the Wednesday podcast. You're kind of coming around to these Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what they've been able to do to lead this division, potentially take this division come playoff time. But I really like them in this spot. Falcons going on the road. We know how Ritter is at home. I know he has a loss now, but in Tampa Bay, I really like this defense, Super Bowl caliber defense with guys that have already been there and done that. We know Shaq Barrett, Devin White, and Levante David on that side of the ball. I think Baker Mayfield continues his success. I know Terrell and Bates are over there, but Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, that's a tall task. And like Huff said, Rachaad White, he's been playing some good football as well. I like the Bucs to cover the spread. If you want to play it safe because of those weird Falcon scores, always like 22-19 or something like that, go with the money line. Not that much of a difference in the odds, but I think the Bucs get this one here and put themselves in a great spot for the NFC South.
Did you guys say that on Wednesday about the Falcons? You said don't take the minus 2.5 because they love to win.
Yeah, and I took it. And I took
Falcons. Yeah, I did too, Ace. But the Falcons love to lose or win by 1 or 2 points. So this is a sketchy line. But yeah, I'm definitely with you here. Bucs should find a way to win this game. That defense is playing really well. They played really well last week in a loss, but that Detroit team, that offense is just a little overpowering. They couldn't keep up. But Baker should bounce back this game. Atlanta doesn't play well on the road. 2.5 points should be covered here.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you're asking a lot of Kyle Pitts and Drake London.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think
you're asking a lot of guys who don't do too much.
Desmond Ritter's going to have a tough game against that defense.
And my thing with the Falcons is, when are they just going to hand the ball over to Bijan and let him be the number one back that they drafted him to be? I'm kind of sick of the whole dual backfield with Tyler Algier getting a lot of carries. Just give Bijan the ball.
Load management. I think they want to keep him healthy.
I agree, but
you got to use those young legs when you can, though. I mean,
yeah, you got to use him on the rookie deal before he wants the money.
I mean, he's already getting paid pretty high.
Yeah, true. He got the signing bonus. All right, so our next game that we're going to take a look at, I think this is Mackie said it's his favorite game of the week. We have Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions heading into Baltimore to visit Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens coming into this matchup as a -3 on the spread. Lions, the +3 is a little bit more favored at the -118. The over-under is an even 43 with the Lions money line coming in. I'm seeing it +120. I believe you can shop it and find it a little better elsewhere. I've gone back and forth on this one. I liked the Ravens originally. This is a game I'm probably going to be staying away from. I do think there's a lot of points scored. I'd probably lean on an over here if I was going to go with a play at 43 on the over. But Mackie, I'll hand things off over to you. I know you're a big fan of this game. Let me know what you're hearing.
Yeah, I love Detroit in this game. Sorry, Haas, you're going to get a little butthurt on this one, but I do love Detroit. I got them earlier in the week at +140. It's now dropped down to +120, but the fact that this team is an underdog, they're going into Baltimore, so it makes a little sense, but I just don't think that Baltimore team's proven enough. A few tough losses. I think this Detroit team's rolling. They're 5-1. Their one tough loss was a shootout to the Seahawks. Not going to be like this game at all. Probably a lot more defense in this game, but Jared Goff is playing some really good football. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is back this week, so that's making up for David Montgomery not being active. But this Detroit team has been finding ways to win games all season. They're going to find a way to win this one too.
I completely disagree with you. I mean, there's great value on a Detroit Lions team that's hot and playing great football, sitting at 5-1 at +140. I mean, great line, great play there. I personally am going to stay away, like Huff said, but I am on the Ravens here. I like them to cover the 3. I think it's going to be a tough day for that Lions offense against this underrated Ravens defense led by Roquan Smith and co. I mean, Patrick Queen stepping up to the plate. The secondary is not too great, but the rest of the guys around them, without David Montgomery, he's really been that bell cow centerpiece of the offense, and his ground game has allowed Jared Goff to get going through the air. I still expect Amon-Ra St. Brown to have a big game, but I think the Ravens defense holds them to under 20 points here, and Lamar Jackson is good enough, like Lazy P saying up here in the comments. He's a top 5 quarterback in my opinion. I think that he'll have a good enough day to get the win here. I could see Lamar running one in himself, especially with that running back room in shambles, but I like Zay Flowers' big bounce back week, in my opinion. I think the Ravens win this one at home at the bank. Definitely love them at home today.
Yeah, so we got some differing opinions
This,
there. Like
this has potential to be one of the best games of this.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a few of them this week. There's a few really good games. I think this is up there for top 3. But yeah, this is going to be a good game. I think low scoring as well.
I don't know. I kind of see that. I could kind of see both offenses get going, but if I could also see if this is a low scoring game, I think that means the Ravens have kind of stifled that Detroit offense.
That Ravens offense doesn't really get going. When do they ever really get going? I mean, they have the weapons.
43 is a tight number. I could see this be 17-17 in the third or fourth quarter.
And then I could see it be 17-17, 25-minute play clock minutes later.
Yeah, the good thing is if it's a tight game like that, Mackie, I'd rather have Justin Tucker on my side.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Lamar's got to drive the ball down the field, though. I mean, so many staggered drives we've seen.
I'm interested to see how this Lions defense holds up with the likes of Mark Andrews, one of the top tight ends in the game. I know last week you were talking about those drops that the Ravens wide receiving core had, kind of inexperienced, young, coming off of injuries and whatnot. But they're not playing their divisional matchup at Heinz Field. I like Zay Flowers. I really think a Zay Flowers anytime touchdown could be in the works, but I feel like he goes over on a lot of his props today, and Lamar gets him going. I like the Ravens here. I think they even up records with the Lions this week.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
Yeah, this is definitely
Mac, you're in Haas's head already.
I know, you see the comments already. Yeah, I like the Ravens. I didn't know you liked the Ravens. I thought you were on Detroit today, Haas.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I will give him the shout out though. He sent me that stat. Huff, sorry to cut you off real quick before we get to the next game. The last time the Ravens defense played against Jared Goff, they held him to 200 yards passing, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, and 6 points overall in a 42-6 massacre. So
4 years ago.
Having a lot different weapons out there in Detroit now, I think that he has a better day than that, but I still think the Ravens find a way to cover today.
All right, we will head over to another AFC North team, my Pittsburgh Steelers, coming into their matchup in LA against the LA Rams. Matt Stafford and the Rams, he has always the receivers back with Kupp and Nakua. Pittsburgh's going into SoFi as a 3-point underdog, even 3 I'm seeing here on DraftKings. The money line is plus 142 for the Steelers and the over-under an even 44. I did say the stats on the video I posted this morning. Tomlin is 12-4 off the bye straight up and 55-30 against the spread as an underdog in his whole career as a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. With that being said, I have 2 plays on this game. I'm going to go with the Steelers to win the game. I got him at plus 150 on the money line. I definitely am going to have that on my card, as well as I do like Cooper Kupp to get in the end zone. The Matt Stafford's number 1 target. I know he's been going to Nakua a lot. I think Kupp has been super dominant in his return since he came back in that 1 and 2 role that they have over there in LA. And I definitely think the Steelers will struggle to cover them. But getting the both plays at plus 150 and plus 110, I love these two in the 1-4 o'clock game. So those are my plays here. Mackie, I'll hand things off over to you. Steelers, Rams, who do you got?
Yeah, I definitely lean Steelers here, but I don't trust it enough. I'm going to take the under here. That Steelers offense has been a problem all season. I'm not really worried about them getting hot. That Rams offense can definitely get things going, but that Rams offensive line is probably bottom 5 in the league, and that Steelers pass rush is just absolutely ridiculous. TJ Watt's going to be the pressure is going to be incredible today on Matt Stafford. I don't think he's going to get a lot going. He's going to have to run the ball a lot. Kyron Williams is out. I think who do they even have back there now?
I don't know, but I picked them up in fantasy.
Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson.
I forget the dude that's starting. I picked him up in fantasy just to
Royce
fuck my cousin over because I'm playing him in fantasy and he needed a running back. Let me see what his name is. I literally just picked him up to spite him.
Isn't it Darrell Henderson and Royce
Zach
Freeman?
Evans is projected 10 fantasy points.
Zach
today,
Evans,
so.
There's a report that came out today. He's going to be the backup. He's going to be the 3. It's going to be Henderson and Freeman splitting
okay, so then it is Henderson. Okay.
Yeah, 2 young running back or newer running backs. I know everyone's on Henderson anytime. I actually saw that, but I think they have a tough time moving the ball downfield, and obviously the Steelers will as well. So I like the under in this one.
Yeah, Huff, I like that too.
Huff, go in there and check out Freeman and Henderson too. report here from Schefter saying they're going to lean on Freeman and Henderson with Zach Evans serving as the backup, and Myles Gaskin will be inactive. Not a bad backup running back room. I mean, nobody great, but a lot of decent names there. I don't think the running game is really what's going to carry them in this game. I lean on the Rams, but I know how hard it is to win against the Steelers this year. For some reason, they play terrible and win games, so I am not taking a side here. That defense, they
Ace, you can
they
get
do
a
Steelers things.
you can get a Daryl Henderson touchdown at plus 215 is the highest I'm seeing.
Yeah,
Dude,
it
I've seen a lot
scares
of
me, though.
people on that
There's
touchdown
too many
prop.
names in that backfield, and they don't even run that much. I know Kyron Williams was like running wild, but that's because I think he's actually pretty good.
That's
One of the more
that's why I did
underrated
the
running backs.
cup. I'm like, if I lose, that means he probably went to Nakua twice or a running back and then Nakua. But like, he's gonna look. He looks at Cup every fucking possession, every time he has a ball in his hand. So like, give me that chance every time.
Yeah, we were talking about on the podcast Wednesday. We like Nakua and Cup. You take both at plus odds. You should hit on one of them and make money. But I
I'm kind
like
of
that.
doing that, but I did the Steelers money line as my other plus play
Yeah,
because I
you
like that a
can't
lot.
go. I personally am not on the Steelers. They just don't show me enough. I think they actually get going. I actually like the over in this game. I guarantee not many people are saying that, but I like points in this game. I think Pickett gets a little bit going with Deontay Johnson back in the mix. I think that
I think
Stafford
that's big
offense is
too. I
going to play
agree.
faster. They're not going to be able to run the ball. They're going to be throwing all day long. Like we said, those quick hitters to Cup all day long,
It's
2
gonna
yard
have
slants and whatnot.
it's gonna have to be all quick hitters. So I mean, he's not gonna have any time to get rid of that football. He
But
might
Sean
get
McVay's offense,
he might get sacked. Like,
and the way Matt Stafford play, they're really good at coming up with schemes to make sure Stafford doesn't get hit, coming up with schemes to get the ball into their playmakers' hands quickly. I think it's going to be a tight game throughout. I could see like a 24-21 final here. That's what I'm personally projecting. But I think you can't go wrong with the 2+ plays, Huff. I like both. I'm sad that I don't have a Cup play on my card. I want to take his receptions prop.
I was
It's
gonna do his
7.5.
receptions too,
Seven and
but
a
it's
half. And
high.
I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah. And I think he
He could
gets
get
10. I really do.
he could get that in the first half. I said the same thing.
But I'm not gonna do it. I just don't want to take one that high. I think that'll be a fun game to watch. It's gonna come down to the wire. And I think the only reason I'm not on a side here is it's not in Pittsburgh. So I think that the Rams figure out a way to get it done at home, but it's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of hoping we get some news that Sean McVay's baby's on the way and he has to leave this game or he's not going to be coaching in this game because he said if he comes, he's not coaching. So we'll have to see what happens there.
You
All
need that.
right.
You need that.
Yeah, that's big. That's definitely huge. I don't even know who their coordinators are. I mean, it's probably someone I'd know if you'd said the name, but all right, we will hop into these. Let me see. What is our next matchup here? We have another divisional match. A lot of divisional matchups this week. NFC West, we have the Arizona Cardinals visiting the Seattle Seahawks. This line has also been moving a lot. I think when we talked Wednesday, it was Seahawks minus 7.5, and now we're seeing the Cardinals coming into this game as a 9-point underdog. Seahawks obviously -9. The Cardinals money line is plus 330, and the over/under is also 44.5 in this one as well. The under being favored.
yeah, this isn't the right game. I didn't think.
Okay, my apologies. All right, and then we will
The
jump
Seahawks
into
are gonna
our
murder in the West, anyways.
There's your
and
take.
another divisional matchup in the AFC West. We have the LA Chargers coming into their matchup with the Kansas City Chiefs as a 5.5-point underdog. The Chargers money line is plus 200, and the over/under in this one is 47.5. Chiefs money line is an minus 245, a little bit steep. Mackie, I'll hand things off over to you to start. I don't really have a side on this one. I was messing around with a few teasers this morning, and obviously I love teasing the underdogs. I was getting the Chargers up to 14, 17, just some crazy numbers and like some 14 teasers, and I almost ripped one. I still might off the card, but I'm leaning the Chargers, but just if I can get them up above 10 points just to get that insurance. But we know every time the Chargers and Chiefs play, it's a Charger or the Chiefs win the game at the end by a touchdown or a field goal, but I think the Chargers can cover this original number. I know Wednesday I said I like the Chiefs. I've kind of bounced back on this one. I might tease it. I don't know which way I'm going, but I'm definitely leaning on the Chargers. I'll hand things off over to you, though.
Yeah, I just think 5.5 is a little too much here. These teams like to shoot it out. It's probably going to be a lot of points in this one. Justin Herbert is a very good quarterback. He does what he needs to do until he needs to do it. So coming down the stretch, 3-4 point game. Justin Herbert needs to lead a game-winning drive. It's just not going to happen. But you're covering a spread there. He's going to get his points. Pat Mahomes obviously going to get his points. I just think 5.5 is a little too much in this tight divisional game. I mean, these teams always play tight football. They're both pretty proven to move the ball downfield. I definitely lean the Chargers plus 5.5, but I don't see the Chiefs losing this game in any way. I hate doing this, but I move or teasing the Chiefs down to a pick 'em, or maybe what is that or minus
Plus 1.5
half or plus a half. I think that could be a really good play, but I do lean the Chargers with the points. I just think it's going to be a really close game, and the Chiefs find a way to figure it out.
Yeah, Mackie, I'm right there with you. It's going to be a tight divisional game. We see this all the time between the Chargers and Chiefs. If you guys remember Thursday Night Football last year between these two teams, Justin Herbert broke his ribs, still led that potential game-winning drive that he didn't cap off per usual, like Mackie always loves to remind us of. But I think it's going to be that same scenario this week. The Chargers are going to get the ball with like between a minute and a half left, down 4 points, so they can't kick a field goal. They're going to have to go down there. They're going to get in the red zone, and they can't cap it off. That's what always happens. 5.5 is a lot for these Chiefs to cover. They hate covering spreads, but they love winning games. Love them on the money line here. Throw them in a parlay. You know what my play is going to be? Travis Kelce to get in the end zone. But I think it's going to be a high-scoring game in a shootout. Both quarterbacks throw for 2 or 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards. Look for Josh Palmer, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler to have big games for the Chargers side. Gerald Everett, he might get a look for a touchdown as well. On the other side, you got to see the Chiefs getting Kelce going. I think Pacheco's always a good play. Rashee Rice has been hot. And then look for newcomer Mecole Hardman, kind of an old name for that team, to get involved in the mix right away. So I think McKinnon could as well. It's a dark horse play. But it's going to be a high-scoring game. A lot of great players for fantasy on both sides.
You guys remember in the offseason when Justin Herbert signed that fat contract, and I was the only one that was like, oh, I don't know if he deserves this. I don't know.
Still deserves it.
Come on. The guy, what has he done? I mean, win a football game, win an important game.
What has Daniel Jones done? He got the same fucking deal.
I'm not saying Daniel Jones deserves any money, but neither does Justin Herbert. I mean, this guy just signed a contract. What is it, top 3 in the league? I mean, he's never even won a playoff game. He's never won an important game in his entire life.
That's the Chargers. They just have never had a
guy.
guy.
He plays. He's not hurt. He's not hurt. He's not hurt. I'm with Huff. Bring Brandon Staley.
I think he's finally catching some strays. Ace, you tagged me in that video the other day of people talking about Justin Herbert, and it's him. I mean, you are the quarterback. You're the face of the team. You blew the 33-0 lead at halftime last year. You lost to the Raiders.
He wasn't on defense
to get into the playoffs. What?
He wasn't on defense.
He didn't put. I don't even think he got a first down in that second half. I mean,
no, they didn't.
I like the guy. He's a good quarterback. He just has no.
He's just missing the clutch gene. Body. He's literally missing the clutch gene. I mean, he has everything else.
He needs a coach that can put him in that position.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I agree with Huff. He passes the eye test. He passes the statistic test.
Oh, but it's
not. I love getting him going about Herbert.
I gotta add this. I gotta add the quote that I said to Huff the other day on Wednesday, and it's. Huff, would you take Justin Herbert in Pittsburgh? I know I'd take him in New England in a heartbeat, and I'd pay him double what he's getting right now.
He's better than Mac Jones and Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, exactly.
You would take him in Dallas. You would take him in Dallas.
Who played better last Monday Night Football, Dak or Justin Herbert? And if you say Justin Herbert, you didn't watch the football game.
If you want Dak Prescott for $40 million, you're insane.
I mean, if you want Justin Herbert for $40 million, you're insane too. I don't care what anybody says. And
I've been just living in Patrick Mahomes' division, sadly.
I've been saying this for over a year. You guys have been calling me crazy for about 9 months, but now he's losing again, and everyone's like, "Oh, maybe this guy really can't get it done."
Brandon Staley, fire him, get him out. Chiefs win today, though. Patrick Mahomes gonna little brother these Chargers like he always does.
I agree. I might actually end up adding that Kelce touchdown with you, but we will get into our Sunday night.
Wait, Hoff, I got to cut you off one more time. Is Taylor Swift going to be in the building?
I don't know. They said this is the last game before a tour or whatever.
GTD?
She's got to get it in, man. I guess tour, she's got to get it in.
I heard I don't know. I heard someone say this. Yeah, this is the last home game or something that she can go to before a tour. I don't really know. I don't keep up with it too much. So.
If it's the last,
we got to see how she's going to test it out in the pregame reps.
Yeah,
Kelce is getting in the end zone.
Exactly. I might have to add that with you, Ace. That might be the play, especially at that minus 125. I might have to throw that in there. But all right, this Sunday night game probably are, if not the best game of the week. I know we talked Lions and Ravens was going to be a great matchup. I think the Sunday night one, they hit this one right on the head. We have the Miami Dolphins coming into Philly as a 3-point underdog to take on the Eagles. Dolphins money line is plus 124. I'm sure you could shop that around and get a little better. Eagles coming in as a minus 148 on the money line, and the over-under is 51.5. I lean on the Eagles here. I like the Eagles. I was going to take the Eagles minus the 2.5 points. I think the home team is huge. They're getting Lane Johnson back. I think that's massive for their offense and offensive line. I think you'll see at least one, maybe two tush pushes for Jalen Hurts to get in the end zone, just kind of bully balling that the way that Philadelphia offense likes to do. I'm on the Eagles here. Not much else to say. Sunday Night Football. I think that I saw a record recently that the Eagles since 2017 or since 2015 have the best record on Sunday and Monday Night Football. So they like to play when the lights are on. I'm going to go with the Eagles minus 2.5 here. Ace, I'll hand things off over to you here this time. What do you think? Dolphins, Eagles? Who do you got?
I'm right there with you, Huff. Eagles, Eagles. That's how you spell it. Unlike that Eagles fan in that viral video. But I agree with you. I think the brotherly shove gets them in the end zone once or twice today. Not putting that on my card. I am gonna take. I haven't locked in my play for Sunday Night Football yet. I think I might do it right now. The Eagles are covering the spread tonight. They're at home. We saw the Dolphins go up to Buffalo in the same exact spot and get their shit kicked in. I know they didn't get crushed, but they lost, and they did, the Bills covered the spread there. I think the Eagles do it here. They're a much better team. This game was in Miami. I think the Dolphins win this, but a great defense is going to be tougher for Tua to get going. I know McDaniel's still going to cook something up, but I see the Eagles putting up almost close to 30 points against this defense. A.J. Brown firing on all cylinders. That running back room looking a lot stronger than we thought. And, the Eagles are just star-studded all throughout. Look for Julio Jones, newcomer. Maybe he catches a touchdown today. I'm not going to card that, but I would not be surprised. Sunday Night Football debut, Julio Jones in the end zone. 3 catches, 20 yards, 1 touchdown. Eagles win, maybe by 10. Mackie, tell us why you're on the Dolphins.
Yeah, I am on the Dolphins. But I know it's definitely not one of my favorite plays of the week. I just like the value on this team. It's going to come down to Jalen Hurts controlling the pace of play. I mean, the Eagles are going to need those long drives, those 7-minute drives throughout the field to keep Tua off the field. You want to keep the Miami offense off the field as long as you can, even though this Eagles offense can be fast flying and this Dolphins defense isn't the best. Eagles could take advantage of that, but you want to keep Tua off the field. You want to keep them out of their rhythm. I think if they can get going, Miami's going to put up a lot more points than the Eagles can. The Eagles' offense has been staggering this year, especially last week against a good defense. I will say, Jets defense did bring it to them. Miami's not going to be able to do it like that, but I just think if it comes down to it, if it is a shootout, Miami's going to figure out a way to put the ball in the end zone last. They have too many weapons over there. If they need to go down, if they have a 1-minute drive, 0 timeouts, I trust Tua to get the job done. I think it's going to be.
I just think that the Eagles at home, this is the game of the week for sure. I mean, you have the 3 games of the week. You have this one, the Chiefs won the 4 o'clock, and the Lions, Ravens, and the 1 o'clock. They blessed us with a great schedule today. But I love the Eagles at home here. I think there's just too many options on the offense for them to keep up with from the Dolphins side of the ball. I know the Dolphins can score quick, but the way the Eagles play, it's that long, grindy drive. They take a 7.5-minute drive. They get the ball, and you look at the first quarter, it's almost into the second quarter, and it's the first drive of the game. And if they can capitalize on their drives, and the Dolphins miss on one, they play catch-up all game, and they neutralize Raheem Mostert, which I think this defensive line can do. Then I think it's going to be a lot tougher for the Dolphins than it has been throughout the season.
If Eagles control pace, I think it's going to be tough for the Dolphins, but they have to control the pace. I mean, they have to. They need those long drives to keep Tua off the field, get them out of their groove. I just think Miami's actually the better football team in this case. Very close to definitely 2 top 4 teams in the league, maybe even top 3 teams in the league. But it's going to be a really good Sunday Night Football game. I'm just going to take the value on the underdog.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely see what you're doing.
Yeah, Dolphins more explosive.
The offense is
Dolphins
definitely
more explosive, but
more
the
downfield.
The Eagles are more well-rounded.
Yeah.
Eagles are one of the most well-rounded teams in the league. But the thing is, I have to think about this, Mackie. I do like your plays on the Lions and the Dolphins from a betting perspective, though. 2 elite teams, high-powered offense, firing on all cylinders at plus lines. You can't really go wrong, but it's tough for me because I'm on that 2.5, so I have to go with that full spread. Ravens and Eagles. Give me the home team in both these scenarios. Better defense as well. Defense win championships, as Ray Lewis said on the Madden 05 cover. I'm going to go with the home teams here.
All right, we will jump over into our favorite plays, our locks of the week. Mackie, I will start things off with you. What is your lock of the week in week 7?
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. I think I'm 2-4 on my locks of the weeks. So tail at your own risk. But I'm going to go with the Lions money line. I'm really high on it. I talked about it earlier. I just think it's going to be a 2-unit play on my card. There's a little sneak peek for you guys, but I think they get it done. I like the value on it. Jared Goff, take me home.
My ace, I'll jump in here.
Mackie loves the sweatiest lock.
You didn't think it was going to be easy, did you?
I'll jump in here real
I knew
quick.
it wasn't going to be.
So mine, I have last week I was looking at the slate. The last 2 weeks I've gone with the Bengals as my mortal lock. They're on the bye week this week, so I can't force Joey B to cover my ass on the mortal lock again this week, unfortunately. Stay tuned for next week. I'll probably jump right back to them. As I said, I'm fully bought back in on them. This week, Ace, I hate to say it. I'm going with the Bills the first half. I got it at -3.5. I think the Bills are able to jump out to a quick lead. I like the Patriots now to actually cover this full spread, but I think the Bills will start fast and get things going. And then I think by halftime, Belichick will kind of get things figured out and maybe make a second half comeback. I'm going with the Bills first half -3.5 is my mortal lock of the week.
Not a bad play against these Patriots.
I don't think you can go wrong
Reeling
fading
right
those
now against one of the
Patriots.
top teams in the NFL. Huff. Hey, but I'm not going to be putting that on my card, so you know that Huff can do it for you.
Yeah.
But on my card, my lock of the week, 5-1 in lock of the weeks. Let me shout it out to Najee Harris, loser. Only time I've lost on the lock of the week this year. That was when we were in Dallas, kind of drunk, getting ready for the Patriots and Cowboys. So I'll take a pass there. 5-1. I'm coming with Kenneth Walker, Lay's Phenom. Said it in the chat earlier. Kenneth Walker already scored today. Yeah, you're going to be saying that 7 minutes in. Mac, you get that tweet loaded up. 4 o'clock slate, divisional matchup. I think there's going to be a lot of points in Seahawks and Arizona. I think the Arizona backdoor covers that pesky team, but Kenneth Walker might run 2 in, I think, this game. Love that. He's at -140. Tough line, but you'll see it on my card. Let's ride. Kenneth Walker, lock it in.
I agree.
Like
And shout out to Beak in the chat. He did that was something I wanted to mention, the National Tight Ends Day. So you definitely want to see all the tight ends ripping the touchdowns today.
That's a good take. Mark Andrews,
Kelce.
Travis Kelce, anybody else?
Kittle started
a lot of
He's
people
tomorrow.
are high on Matt Meyer. Rookie tight end on the Las Vegas Raiders today with Brian Hoyer at the helm. I like the Raiders on the money line. I like Jacobs to get in, but Meyer's gonna have a big day.
Dude, he was throwing to Myers so much whenever he came in.
Well, you know Brian Hoyer, in the Patriots offense, he's just going to make the quality throw every time. It's like Jared Goff. I saw a stat. He makes the most heady throws or whatever it is, the safest throw, the best, most highest completion percentage on that throw. Brian Hoyer is going to find his tight end, check it down, get 5 to 10 yards of pop. That's what he likes to do. Look for Meyer to get in and hit his over prop as well. My buddy Adam Corin shouted that out. Good pick.
All right, I think that's going to do it for us here this week. You heard all of our 5 favorite games of the week. You heard our locks of the week. Make sure you're staying tuned to the social medias. Give us a follow, subscribe, the whole 9 yards, whatever you can do. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure you stay tuned to the social media for our takes on the Monday Night Football game tomorrow night for the Vikings and 49ers. And then obviously Thursday for our Week 8 episode and NHL, NBA starting up Tuesday. So we have NHL, NBA, MLB playoffs fully heating up. World Series is starting this week or next week. So lots of going on in the sports world. We appreciate the support. Other than that, I think that's going to do it for us. You guys got anything else?
Cowboys off week.
No, let's just
not much going on.
Let's rip.
Mackey's like, I'm on a bye week too.
Sneaky Patriots sneaky money line. You didn't hear me say it. Patriots
1-5, 1-5, 1-5.
All right.